Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, and thefote.com. With your hosts, Diana-Mite, Bruce Barker, and Scott Lucky Hudson.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speed Scene Live. I'm Bob Beck, and along with me tonight, the lovely, always, Diana-Mite.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Scott, the Lucky Hudson man.
Sometimes luckier than others.
And the bobacious Bruce Barker.
A new word,
yes.
Bobacious.
Bobacious. Banana fanafacious.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last person to start making words up was OJ, and I got sick of that real quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, tonight we got great things going on. We're going to talk about how you can win a free pair of M&H tires. You can sign up on thefote.com, and the drawing is going to be next week.
That's right. You got 1 week still to sign up. And while we're talking about it, we've got some footage here from the NHRA Heritage Series at Las Vegas. This is a great group called the Hot Rod Trio. And check it out. The drummer stands up while he plays.
Oh, didn't the Stray Cats drummer do that?
He did. He did, yeah. They both have a bad hemorrhoid problem.
It must be.
Oh, no, that's not why?
No. That's just style. Didn't Tina Marie do that, too?
Well, but she wasn't she was a timbale player.
Yeah, but it was hot. It's hot to see the drummer up there stand, and they can dance, they can do whatever they want. They're part, instead of being shoved in the back, you poor drummers, that happens to you. They get shoved in the back. They're like right up there with the rest of the band dancing and rocking out.
Well, Bruce, why don't you bring up this vocals?
And women bass players are hot too.
And of course, the crowd was out having a great time dancing. They had rockabilly cars. We're going to show you all that. But if you go to thefote.com and you sign up right now for a free pair of M&H tires, there's actually going to be two winners. Each winner will get one free pair of M&H tires.
A pair, that's two, right?
That's two, right.
Okay.
That's for like the back of your car, some big hooking tires like I use, like Diana-Mite uses.
Some meaty slicks.
Yeah, the inventor of the slick. That's right. You can win a pair for free. Two people are going to win.
How many?
Two people. And we're going to announce the winner a week from tonight right here on Speed Scene Live. So go to thefote.com, follow all the links. It's going to tell you how to do it. And while you're there, why don't you join the Speed Scene Live crew, and also Bob Beck, you're on there too.
And I'm there.
You can talk to us during the show. While we're actually doing the show, you can actually talk to us.
Do you talk or do you text? Or
well,
email?
you do crew updates.
Okay.
All
right.
And Lucky's monitoring that all the time through the show.
Yes.
The whole time. I'm multitasking, contrary to popular belief. Now, speaking of people that are multitasking, take a look at this yellow A-gas Corvette. This is the Dorman and Leggett car. And Les Leggett, one of the most famous engine builders of our time, is the person responsible for the horsepower in this car. But these cars were competing in A-gas, and I just happened to be catching some footage. And it was great because, Las Vegas, the track is a great track, and there's a lot of great vantage points to film from. And I got a little bit of elevation here so that we could see really well.
Dude, you got high?
I got high at Las Vegas. But take a look here, and let's watch this yellow Corvette take off. For some reason, he seems to kind of wait a little bit and allows the red 57 Chevy to
cut a light.
Cut a light. I mean, cut a century. They're using a sundial for timing lights there.
Oh, stop
Get
it,
him some no-dos.
give him a little break.
But let's take a look and let's watch what happens to this yellow Corvette as he leaves the line.
Good thing that wall was there to stop him.
Yeah.
He wasn't going that fast because he didn't go that far down the track, but he hit really hard. Let's take another look at slow-mo and see it's funny. He pulls the chutes. A lot of times racers will pull the chutes to straighten the car out.
And it didn't work.
Well, he pulled a chute as he was turning into the side.
Yeah, couldn't pull enough wind out of it.
There's no speed. And right here, the front end kind of comes up. So I don't know if the throttle
stuck.
Oh,
man, that's
going to leave a mark.
Yeah.
There is a pretty good mark right there on the wall. So, unfortunately, the car took a beating. The driver's okay, from what I hear. They took him to get checked out by the doctors just to make sure. They said he was coherent. He was answering questions. I think his first comment was,
No!
What the heck happened?
Yep. Well, cars can be replaced. People cannot. So as long as he is okay, that's the best thing.
His second comment was, I don't have to pay for this, do I?
Oh, man.
Well, listen, we are going to talk a lot tonight about M&H and getting free tires on thefoat.com. And we're also going to talk about the Speed Scene Live Nationals because next week I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to be towing the Novas out there to Great Bend, Kansas. We're going to be setting up at the Speed Scene Live Nationals. It's a great track. Great people there, and we're looking forward to having a lot of fun. And we hope to see a lot of you racers out there that are in the Kansas area, Colorado, anywhere that's close enough to race.
Texas, Kentucky, Oklahoma. We don't care where you come from. Just come. That's the important thing, right, Lucky?
Come on out.
And and this is how you signify lots of states.
Yes,
Right, Bob?
That's my geography. It's like California's over here and New York's over here and all those states in between. Just come to the race.
Well, tonight I'm wearing my Nitro Play T-shirt, and I've got in my hands here a stack of about 9 gift certificates from Nitro Plate to hand out. So we're going to hand out a bunch of free stuff to the racers, and that's what this race is all about, right, Diana-mite? Giving back to the racers?
It is, Lucky. And aren't there some special jackets that Curry's going to be be to the winners, I
Curry
hear?
Rear End will actually have a custom-made jacket embroidered with your name, winner of the first annual Speed Scene Live National, something like that. Custom-made jacket. We'll actually take your size, and then we'll have the jacket made for you and send it to you. We also have a...
So it's not those one-size-fits-all type of jackets that you get at some of those races?
They're not. It's more like Burger King. They don't make it until you order it.
Oh, that's going to be a status symbol.
Yeah.
Or how about they don't make it until you earn it?
Yeah, okay, there you go. and Thomas Nichols, the great artist, has got a great piece of artwork we're going to give away. That's a Christmas tree a piece of artwork that's signed by all these famous racers.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to hand that out. Automotive Extreme, located right here in Corona, California, the best place around to take your car. If you got a show car, a street rod, a hot rod, a race car, you want to get some work done on it and get it done right, take it there. It's really fantastic shop.
How about some... go ahead,
They donated some products from Prolong because they're a Prolong dealer.
That's what I was going to ask you. Those Prolong awesome products that we actually use ourselves.
Yeah, wow.
And then what about the ignition wires, right, Bruce?
That's the Fire Core 50 ignition wires that you're talking about. They've jumped on board to give us some free stuff to hand out. These guys have the top quality ignition. It's funny. I just had to go shopping for this. In fact, Bob, have you ever encountered this? A Ford Y-block engine.
Yeah.
And this obviously happened to somebody long before I had it. I've had this thing for 25 years or so. It's a 1958 Ford Ranchero with a 292.
Uh-huh.
2 of the push rods fell down into the engine valley.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just there, and somebody didn't bother to take the top of the engine off. They just stuck new rods.
So they're still laying there, an extra pair?
Yeah, an extra pair.
And you wondered what that rattling sound was.
Well, mainly it was I was trying to figure out why the thing ran so crappily all of a sudden, and another one had dropped out of there. Is that a common problem with the Y-block? What's going on with this thing?
No, I've seen it happen on a couple of Chevys if the lifters collapse.
Okay,
and now you've got a lot. You've got a lot of gap there, and you get some RPM, and they pop out.
Okay, well that explains it.
So maybe don't just buy push rods. Maybe buy some lifters.
Yeah, gee, maybe I'll have to buy some lifters as well.
Rizlone or something into the oil, cut some of that gum and stuff.
Yeah,
We're going to talk more about the Speed Scene Live Nationals. What else is going on, Diana-mite?
Well, actually, we're going to have Bryant Layton with the Off-Road Report on tonight. He's going to tell us all about what's going on, and he's going to be talking about the upcoming Baja race. Well, we've got Bob Beck. You noticed he's in studio, and he's going to be giving us a little gas with a great American auto scene. His segment's going to be all about club colors. Now, if you don't know what that is, stay tuned, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Well, that's going to rock. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm going to wrap up this thought.
Okay.
I'm shopping for new ignition wires.
Yes.
Where am I going to go? Huh?
Fire
Of
core.
course. For that very same 58, it will not know what happened. It'll be explosive.
Now-
And some prolong, too.
Yeah, I know you're like totally an original kind of guy, but have you ever thought of maybe just like a nice little crate motor for that
real
little
engine?
Rancherito?
Yeah, well, there's the one downstairs is a bit like that. It's a Ford crate motor essentially, and so the spark plug wires are.
And you would
yellow.
probably never put a Chevy motor in a Ford, right? That would be like a big no taboo.
Well,
Hot rodders do it.
Well, I know. I just
know?
haven't found the excuse yet. I guess.
Built
Well-
Ford tough with a bunch of Chevy stuff.
Yeah, how about this? I'll give you an excuse. Cheaper,
Yeah.
easier to replace. I mean, bing. Dollars. That's a big excuse.
Hey, Bruce, go back to that last video clip because
Okay, you're talking about this.
right here, this is a shot of Brandon Fry in his A-Gas 57 Chevy, and he's running a Speed Seen Life sticker on that beautiful car.
Wow.
And he actually got runner-up in A-Gas at last weekend's NHRA Heritage Race, the Rockabilly Reunion, and Brandon is just kicking butt this
How
year.
does he see over that big hood scoop?
You just see around
doesn't-
it. You don't
yeah.
have to see
He
everything.
just watches the wall and stays away from it.
Yeah, there's no spectators on the streets there,
Now,
you know.
Brandon's what, all of 18?
Yeah, he's very young. Got a
he's-
great crew, Fry Racing.
Yeah.
He does. And
right
boy, do
here,
they put on a great barbecue.
I think that is Dean Carter right there in the Lucas Oil, and he won Junior Fuel.
Yep, he was a
And
tough guy in Junior Fuel.
Very, very successful. And we talked about that 57 Chevy. That 57 Chevy, a lot of the work that was done on that was done by Chris Curtis. Remember, they came
yeah.
down and they
Yeah.
were in studio, and Chris Curtis has got a lot of
History.
his dad. Yeah, history. His dad was a famous guy building.
Curtis midgets.
Well, his dad did the boats.
Uh-huh.
Grandfather did the midgets.
Midgets.
They even did an Indy car.
IndyCars, yeah.
So it's in his blood, basically, is
yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, Chris is
Sure.
a great race car fabricator, and Chris won D-Gas last weekend in his
cool.
Nova, and he's also sporting a Speed Seen Life sticker on that car. So it was a pretty good weekend for some cars with Speed Seen Life stickers.
Is it
That's
that
the hot
extra
setup.
tenth?
It must
that
be,
extra
yeah.
tenth that everybody's
I
getting
picked
when
up
they
a
need
couple
it?
miles per gallon when I put them on my car.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shazam.
Now,
A hole in the window, and
Chuck Roark won 7-0 Pro, and they had a big Nitro Funny Car race that was put on by Drag Racing Online. Great website. They put up a big purse. They brought in a bunch of cars. They weren't actually part of the Heritage. It was sort of a race within a race kind of deal.
How many funny cars showed up?
Well, 20 funny cars.
Wow,
That was.
20.
Yeah.
That must have been quite an event.
That was a lot of cars.
How long does it normally take to run 20
Well,
funny cars?
apparently it takes about 3 hours for some reason. They only take about 5.5 to 6 seconds going down the track.
Huh.
But there seems to be a lot of cleaning in between, unfortunately.
Well, you know what? They go so doggone fast. They just want to make sure that track is in perfect condition
Well,
for
that's
each pair.
true. And John Hale from Texas, he came all the way out from Texas. He ended up beating Jason Rupert of Yorba Linda, California.
So a Texan spanked a California boy.
That's right. It was a 573 to a 584. There was a lot of 5-second runs. And, man, there was some great hitters out there. Bob Godfrey was out there running.
these are the nostalgia funny cars, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, an interesting thing, Bob, that you brought that up. This is the only opportunity to actually watch a Nitro Funny Car go an entire quarter mile.
Unless they go to Bakersfield.
Well, yes, for another Nitro race. But if you go to the pro show, you only get to
Yeah.
watch them go 1,000 feet.
Oh, that's right.
Well, see, that's where
right.
the cleanups come in because they're not ready for that extra 3
Well,
feet.
apparently. So, yeah, it was a good race. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. Give you a little more update on it, and it wasn't all about racing. There was some more bands that we're going to show you. We're going to show you Mad Max and the Wild Ones. We're going to show you some of the rat rods that were out there representing. But right now, we need to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to get right into that. Plus, we're going to talk to Brian Layton, and we're going to talk to Hot Rod Bob Beck.
All right, stay right here. Speed Scene Live, 800-809-0802.
Hi, this is Joel Grusin, and when I am not busy working on all of these items from the House of Mouse, what do? I watch Speed Scene, and you'd better do that too.
Last time they went home in defeat, but they're coming back to even the score, and this time they've brought Nitro. That's right, Nitro! On May 26th, the Rocky Mountain Superchargers return to SRCA Drag Strip in Great Bend for Kansas versus Colorado. The rematch. Beat-era Colorado's best Superchargers take on the home state favorites. Adults pay just $10. Kids 12 and under and active duty military get in free. See your local paper for discount coupons. Gates open at noon on Saturday, May 26th at SRCA Drag Strip.
For over half a century, Curry rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Curry lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Curry gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Curry expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Curry's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Curry Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Curry rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at curryenterprises.com. Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV with your hosts, Diana-mite, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, The Off-Road Report with Bryant Layton, and The Great American Auto Scene with Bob Beck.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live. Oh, man, it's live television. Look at me. I just got a piercing and a tattoo. Well, it's not that live.
Where? Never mind.
I'm Bruce Barker. There's Diana-mite. There's Lucky Hudson. And there's Bob Beck in studio with the Great American Auto Scene. And we are talking about all forms of racing, including, man, we got some more shots from the, you know what? This is something that we were playing early on, and we didn't get to hear much of the music and the vocals.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit. You know, this is the Hot Rod Trio out of Orange County, California.
So that's the name of the group.
That's the name. Well, Hot Rod Trio. They're very authentic, very early, you know, Telecasters.
Folk,
No, rockabilly. It's old school country. You know, back when country just had a little bit of drums.
Yeah, I was going to say old school country had no drums.
Well, not that old. A week later. Okay. A week newer than that.
A week later.
Kind of bluegrass.
I'm talking 50s.
It is kind of bluegrassy,
yeah, bluegrass.
There you go. Well, Bob, you have been out hitting the car show circuit.
Oh,
you've been doing a lot of stuff. Tell us what you've been up to.
Well, you know, this last weekend I got to go to the West Coast Customs Cruising Nationals. And the cars are gorgeous. And you know what? I wanted to do something a little bit different. We all see some great cars, and there were some great cars. But there were a lot of clubs involved at this show. A lot of clubs came out. It became a big social event. And it used to be a show in a different part of the state. They moved it to Santa Maria a few years ago. It's at the fairgrounds, and it is a social event. You've got people out there that are just full of custom stuff. The custom cars bring back the era of the 60s and 70s when custom cars were the kings of the car shows. They weren't lowriders. They were customs, and it didn't matter what your ethnic persuasion was. You had a custom. You had a car that was neat. The body was changed. The paint was a mile deep. Candy colors, fadeaways, chop tops, metal flake. But the car clubs were kings. And you joined car clubs to get involved with guys and gals that had similar interests. And these are pictures of their colors or their jackets or T-shirts. A lot of the clubs were there. They proudly wore their jackets that let you know which club they were with. And if you're not a member of a club, think about joining one of the clubs that are in your area. It's a great way to get parts, a great way to get help. The Gasoline Girls is a group down in the L.A. area that they help other gals work on their cars. The Hoods Car Club, they had some great great customs there. And this one's probably one I should join, the Old Forge Racing Team.
You got to roll.
And they're here in Southern California. They've got their own rocking chair that's powered.
Oh, do they really? So that's not just an emblem.
Probably someone's got it. Yeah, it wasn't there. The Dukes, the Throttle Kings. A lot of guys using a play on words to make their club name stand out. And you're going to see that through this, the Zoot Suits. Now, they got a great shot. I remember the 40s and 50s, the Zoot Suit guys. They had custom cars back then. They weren't called lowriders. The Beatniks, these guys have a lot of period hot rods. Loose screws. All right, your car drives around, it vibrates a lot. You get a loose screw. The Mad Bombers Car Club. The Bombers, that is a style of car right now. It's a cross between a lowrider and a restored car.
It's funny, their logo looks a bit like a system error on it.
Yeah, now this is back shot of Blackie Jahijian. I had to take a picture of him. He was sitting there wandering around in his motorized wheelchair, but Blackie puts on the invitation-only car show up in Fresno. He is an icon of hot rodding. I believe he won the Oakland Roadster Show one time.
Oh.
He has been involved in that. He is looking good. A few years ago, he was pretty sickly. He's got a new hip, new knee, a few other parts. He can't get through a metal detector anymore, but he was out there cruising all weekend long on his chair.
So Blackie is hip to be square now. By the way, it's hard to read right at the bottom. It says it's
Autorama.
It says underneath that, the label on the chair itself is High-Test Blastoline. I love that name.
Yeah, the Blastoline brothers building those huge cars. Jay Leno's got one of them, powered by the tank motors and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, with Blackie right there was Christine Bergstrom. She's provided photos for us a number of times.
Indeed, great photos too.
And the Rods and Rebels Car Club, and here's
Headhunters.
The Headhunters, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, custom cars. They had nothing but customs, cool cars, chop tops, candies. Right out of Glendale, California. Here in Southern California, the Gearheads. See those guys, a lot of Bob's Big Boy Cruise nights and stuff. They've got a lot of rat rod type cars.
Oh, there's the jacket that goes with that T-shirt.
That T-shirt, right? That's the illegals. The Axle Draggers. And you can see that's a custom, about 41 Ford, set down real low, customized skirts, chop top. The custom shifters out of NorCal. Now, you've got a hot rod there, but in the 60s and 70s, stylized T-buckets and T's were popular.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of the artwork, I'm sorry there, Bob, it looks almost as if it's some of the caricatures you used to see,
exactly.
From Ed Big Daddy Roth and people like that.
That's it. Now, the usuals, it's a social club, they call themselves, and they got the beer bottles there on the jacket.
Is social club the same as drinking club?
It probably is in this case, yeah.
Now, like a gentleman's club?
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah, that too. The W Gas out of California, you got a K. This was a parody. This was a family that made their own jackets up.
Oh.
And look, it's an outhouse on a dragster.
Yeah. Those could also be call letters to a radio station east of the Mississippi.
East of the Mississippi, that's
right.
Yeah,
what does the W stand for?
I didn't ask, but it was not positive. Memory Lane had a Sin City, Nevada. Yeah, I wonder where that is. Lost Wages. You were there for the Rockabilly.
Yeah, I was just there. You know, it's so funny. You drive by the casinos and your wallet just starts getting pulled out of your pants by some kind of a vacuum effect.
Yeah.
The vacuum effect.
Now, the Ben Axles out of Santa Maria put on a great car show every year. I'll be there in June for that show.
That's the same Santa Maria that we had the race team featured recently,
right.
The high school race team.
And they were at the show. As a matter of fact, funny thing, we talked about it a little bit earlier. One of the gals, the crew chief for the team, came up and was giving me a hug. Yeah. And the guy that was working with me up there goes, "Who's that?" I said, "I don't know." And she came up again, and she hugged me. "Oh, I got to give you a hug." And he goes, "Who's that?" I said, "I don't know." And it took me almost all day to figure out she was with the Santa Maria race team, and she was the crew chief.
Well, there you go, man.
Yeah.
Your fame. It's what are you going to do? It's spreading.
Spreading my gases all over the place. But the shirts and the
she's a high school student.
She's a high school student.
About
she was
16 years old. Oh,
That's
15.
It.
Okay, very
Southern
good.
California, the Lifters. It's a car part with wheels on it.
We were just talking about lifters. You had to bring this up, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. It's time just right with you.
Yeah.
The Mad Bombers.
Another system error there.
Yeah, there we go. And they've got their lowered, restored cars. They're just great-looking machines.
Did you find all of these colors representing at one show?
At one show. And as a matter of fact, this isn't all the ones I got, but I wasn't quick enough with the camera to focus them all the time. Now, here's the official shirt of the guys that are putting on the show, the West Coast Customs, and he was an official. He was actually judging the model car contest. So they had tabletop, hot rodding, and customs as well. Now, this is Jack Stewart. He is a lifetime member member of the L.A. Roadsters, and he was inducted into the Custom Car Hall of Fame for one of the first cars he built.
And remember, Diana-mite, a few years back, we went to the L.A. Roadsters show at Pomona, and Jack came out and he gave us a personal tour of the event.
I remember. He took us all around in his golf cart. Super nice guy.
Got to be close to 80-something. He's 84 years old. He's getting married this year.
How about
84
that?
years, 84 years young, if I remember.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Nothing's going to stop him. He still drives his 32 every place.
Wonder where he's going to honeymoon.
Wherever he wants.
Yeah,
emergency room.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of those little blue pills. Satan's chauffeur's out of San Jose. Yeah, but he'll have fun.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
he will.
important thing.
The Drifters. And this is a caricature of the ZZ Top car.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. The Cadzilla.
That's a beautiful car.
Could have sworn that ZZ Top car was like a 34.
I wonder if there's
different
more.
one?
They have
more
a
than
number
one
of
car.
Oh.
They got the Cadzilla and they got a motorcycle.
Bob, is this your jacket?
That is my jacket. I was at the show, but there are other Road Kings there as well.
All right.
Straight Rods Unlimited were represented. They're SoCal Club, but one of their members lives right up there in that area, and he was there both days with a Studebaker station wagon, a rare two-door.
Huh.
Yeah.
I have 50s vintage somewhere.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah.
And then he tows around his trailer with a 50-something Studebaker pickup truck sitting on an S10 chassis.
I'm so unfamiliar with that model of Studebaker. Did the front end look like, it didn't look like the lowdown, the Hawks and stuff? Did it really?
Yeah. It was that style, but a two-door station wagon. It was
How cool is that?
And he's building it for his wife.
Huh.
She found, he brought that home. She said, "Oh, I like that car." So now she's got one. He'll drive his Caddy convertible, and he's sorting out, he says, although we always see him driving it. That's Studebaker.
Sorting it out.
Yeah, sorting it out for her.
So that's kind of like the Nomad era.
Yeah. It was a two-door wagon.
Chevys
It was
had
cool.
the two-door wagon.
Yeah, Chevy had the Handyman and the Nomad.
Yeah.
Ford had their ranch wagon.
Right.
Yeah.
Mercury even had a two-door hardtop station wagon.
A Colony Park?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And 57, 58, they had that little two-door.
Trying to think
wagon.
if Edsel had one of those. Bermuda? No,
Edsel-
that was a big car.
I think Edsel may have had a variation of the Ford two-door wagon as well.
Huh.
But, that was a good old days. But car clubs, the mainstay of car shows.
Well,
Join a
that's
car
pretty,
club, get with the people, you get parts, you get references on getting repairs. It doesn't matter what kind of car you have. You can get into the marquee clubs that are specific to a particular make, or one of these that have a broad base of interest, from hot rodding to customs to drag racing.
Man.
They also have like a lot of events. I remember as a young girl that I would go to these events with my dad, and they would have like poker runs.
Yes.
And everybody would meet at like a big state park, and they would camp overnight. They would have a sock hop on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning you'd wake up and you'd have a poker run, and it was it was a fun thing to do.
And when you look at this jacket, this one's out of Utah. Mm-hmm. Where is it?
Mantua.
Mantua,
It's funny,
Utah.
Yeah. I'm guessing at that because that's sort of how you pronounce the Italian city.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing
that could be. But there was a lot of people from all over the state and other states as represented by this jacket. And, you talk about clubs and putting on car shows and such. A lot of clubs do that for charity. Road Kings, for example, next week at Johnny Carson Park. Actually, the second weekend in June, June 10th, Johnny Carson Park across the street from NBC. They've raised over $100,000 for charities so far, and they're doing their annual car show. About 700 cars showed up last year.
Is there a particular charity, or is it just all charities?
There's about 4 or 5 different charities that they support, including the Burbank High School auto shop programs.
Oh, great.
To keep the auto shops going.
I know. It's a high school with an auto shop program still. Who knew?
Yeah, and the demand is great. And a lot of educators have lost sight of that. It's a shop class. Kids are taking that so they can get a cheap and easy grade.
Yeah.
But the reality is, not everyone's going to get a degree. And the mechanical knowledge that they learn in those auto shops can get them a job. I'm a product of that.
Yeah.
Well, not so much for that.
But you're right. I took small engine repair, which was a thing in my high school. I distinctly remember when I first walked in the class, I'd never seen a small engine the way the battery and interfaces with a magneto and stuff. Guy says, it's got a hand crank on it because it's a demo engine that they've turned into something you can watch the parts move. The guy says, here, grab a hold of this. And he starts hand cranking the engine.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got Bryant Layton with the Off-Road Report. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the big Baja race coming up. And we'll ask Brian if he's got any colors that he's going to be wearing on that next race.
Black and blue.
There you go. Speed Scene Live. We'll be back.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. MNHTires.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you. Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV with your hosts, Diana-Mite, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, the Off-Road Report with Bryant Layton, and the Great American Auto Scene with Bob Beck.
Welcome back to the show, Speed Scene Live. That's right, we're getting ready for the Speed Scene Live Nationals at Great Bend, Kansas. We're heading out there. It's going to be June 8th and 9th. Now, Friday, it's Test and Tune, Gambler Race. Saturday, the Speed Scene Live Nationals with over $17,000 in cash and prizes. Come on out. Get your car on Speed Scene Live. Maybe get picked to do an interview. Meet Diana-Mite in person. Maybe get her to put a sticker on your car or anywhere else you would like a sticker.
Flying in especially for you.
Diana-Mite, can stickers be applied any place?
Pert near.
Good enough. Good enough. I'll have the lawyers write that up. But tonight we're going to talk to Bryant Layton. He's going to talk a little bit about the Baja race coming up in Mexico. Diana-Mite, bring that young man in, will you?
Brian, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
You guys are talking about a young man, you're talking about me?
Yeah, that's a ticket. Keep telling yourself that, babe.
You're just a youngster there, Sonny.
Yeah. I just walk into it repeatedly.
I guess compared to these old farts I have in the studio, you're a young man.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen Bruce's Facebook pictures. I mean, that guy's ripped, though. He might be older, but he's in better shape than all of us.
Yeah. But, you know, it varies week to week. What am I going to say about that?
You know what? My daughter saw that, and she went, Mom, did he just put his head on that body?
It's so wrong, man.
Airbrush.
People aren't supposed to do that. I'm going like, God, I look at that thing now. Oh, well, back to the show.
Hey, girls, all you girls listening, you got to go to Bruce Barker's Facebook page and check out what we're talking about.
You got pictures of him with no shirt on. You got pictures of him with Ron Jeremy. It's a great page to look at.
Hey, man, thank you for bringing that up. The movie that I'm in with Ron Jeremy debuts this Friday at the Chinese Theater.
Wow!
I kid you
Awesome!
not.
Congratulations,
Awesome.
Bruce.
Yeah, thank you. It's I'm excited. I've not seen it. So
Yeah, where's my premiere tickets, Bruce?
Yeah.
Where's mine?
Yeah.
They're not letting you in. You got to pay to get in, huh, Bruce?
Well, they said,
I'm still waiting for an invitation to the wedding.
Yeah, whoops.
Which one? Oh, never mind.
Ron Jeremy's?
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the World of Off-Road, as Lucky was talking about a little bit earlier, we do have the legendary Baja 500 going down this weekend. All the teams are down south of the border right now in Ensenada and pre-running, and the course is going to be running the same, which it always does with a start and finish in Ensenada. It'll take the average team at about anywhere from the trophy trucks to from 6 to 8 hours, all the way up to you never know. There's a 23-hour time limit on this race, and a lot of these teams will need the whole 23 hours. So the course has been running the same for the last 5 or 6 years, pretty much identical. And last year, Bryce Menzie, who was a scorer Rookie of the Year and also the trophy truck champion and overall points champion, he started in first. It was a drawing, and he never looked back. He had clean air the whole way around. Did a great job. He's actually down there pre-running already. You can see him on his Facebook page and everything. And all the other teams are down there. Some of the people, though, that I didn't get a chance to tell Lucky or Bruce about this in the emails about what we're going to talk about on the show, though, a lot of the big racers have been down there for the last 5-6 days. They actually came up to the L.A. Coliseum, and they're there right now for an announcement at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time that Robbie Gordon is making at the L.A. Coliseum. We just had Robbie on the show recently, and I can't really talk too much about what the announcement is, but the World of Off-Road is really coming to you guys soon. And I'm talking about the whole country.
Wow, that would be great. And now he has that drink, Speed Energy drink, right?
Correct. Speed Energy drink it's an energy drink that he actually, started up after, being with some of the other energy drinks and really watching the market. And now he has another venture that you can actually go to speedenergy.com at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and there will be an announcement. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you look on my Facebook page, you might be able to figure out what's going on.
But you don't want to tell us. You just want to...
You got to wait till 8 o'clock, and we're too early.
We can't scoop
I got special privileges, and they are watching the show tonight, the people that gave me those privileges of what's going down, and I am not going to say a word. I'm very, very excited about talking about it next week on the show. Maybe I can get Robbie or Kevin, one of his publicity guys, to call in and really talk about it even some more. It's something really, really cool that's happening in the world of off-road.
Well, that sounds great. Now, you mentioned a Facebook page. Is there a website, or where's the best place that people can go at 8 o'clock?
Go to speedenergy.com. That's Robbie Gordon's energy drink, speedenergy.com. 8 o'clock, there is going to be a live telecast of what is going down. Robbie will be making the announcement himself.
Wow, but they're doing it all the way up here in L.A.
At the Coliseum.
At the Coliseum, wow.
That's kind of
really
big.
think about it. Coliseum, which is in a great neighborhood.
Is the announcement that you can win a free pair of M&H tires at thefoat.com?
It might be. I'm not sure. With Robbie.
I hope we
I
didn't give anything away or step over any borders.
No, not until next week. That's when we give them away.
Well, I'm wondering if it's something like maybe a television show coming up or
an off-road
reality
American
show.
Idol, The Bachelor combo.
Yeah. Is Robbie Gordon a bachelor? Is he going to be the next bachelor?
The Bachelor takes you for a ride.
It's hard to keep up with Robbie. I don't know if he's single or not anymore. It's funny. You Google Robbie's name, and it's really funny. Robbie Gordon's girlfriend comes up pretty quick.
I bet.
Really?
Okay.
On purpose?
She's a smart girl.
We better go to a commercial break then so we can... So now, Brian, you're going to talk about this next week, and you're going to give us some more in-depth information that maybe people won't get necessarily tonight.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of information that I'll pass on next week on the show. It's a very big announcement. It's at the Coliseum. The Coliseum in off-road racing was actually legendary back in the day in the Mickey Thompson Stadium Series.
Oh, yeah, I remember watching them jump right down to the arches.
Oh, is that right?
Check out my Facebook page. There's a nice picture of something like that. Or make sure you check out speedenergy.com tonight, 8 o'clock. Listen to the announcement, and next week I'll tell you guys more.
Nice. Now, so then after tonight, are all these teams heading south and going back down to Mexico?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the trophy truck guys got the planes just waiting in Santa Monica when they're done. Fly them back down.
Wow, amazing. So now this is the Baja 500 race.
It's a shorter race.
It's not the Baja 1000. Now you're not going to be racing at this one, huh, Bryant?
No, you know what? I do have a couple of offers, and I have a couple things that are still kind of planning out. And you know, last year I went down there, and I was a backup driver, and ended up actually getting in a car accident, and where you know, luckily I was okay, but you know, 2 people were airlifted out, and it was a really scary time. And you know what? I just kind of made the decision, if I'm not racing or if I'm not going down there to you know, to get paid to, you know, do something with a team, that it's not really worth it anymore. It's not that it's not worth it, but it's just time and effort, and I, you know, money's money.
Right.
So
you got a family
there,
and you got to pay the bills, right?
Exactly. So
you know,
family and work come first.
Right.
Yep.
I know that there's, like we're showing a helicopter right here on the show. There's a lot of teams that have helicopters that film stuff. Do you think you're going to be able to get any of that footage for us for the show?
You know, but if you guys remember, we had Zach Langley on from the Cops team. You know, the
That's right.
legendary show, The Cops.
And actually,
There he goes.
we're showing that car right now
Perfect timing.
and his helicopter. And that car last week was right down the street on
really?
Lakeview getting work done at that Red Line Performance.
Yeah, Redline does a lot of the dyno services for the LS motors, the LS-based motors. But they have a brand new trophy truck that they are debuting. They actually had it up here in Barstow today, testing it. And I talked to Zach. He called me yesterday, and we were talking about, he was saying he was going to come up, and I said I had to work. But I asked him if I could get some footage, and he said no problem. So it takes them usually about a week to 10 days to put together a YouTube video. So we'll get Zach back on the show.
Great.
Beautiful.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
Great.
Nice.
It's always enjoyable being able to watch it from a helicopter's, you know, perspective. It's tough, you know, getting the footage like this. We're getting some great footage of each individual car, but to see one car go, you know, several miles, it's interesting.
Yeah, you know what? We've had a really good show, the show on Fox Sports West with the HDRA races, and you know, it's pretty cool is that they're letting the little guys get on TV too. And we've had the Jeep with helicopter footage and in-car footage on every episode so far.
That's great.
Cool.
On Fox Sports West, you can see the Speed Scene Live logos and everything. It's
Awesome.
really helped all of our sponsors, and we're really happy about that.
Now,
Right.
Brian, weren't you putting together a Baja bug to go out and do a little Baja racing?
Yeah, I still have it. I'm looking at it right now. It's it hasn't changed much.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's there. Our plan actually is we got a new something we're working with right now, actually, and putting together some stuff for next year for racing. We're going to do something for autism, actually. So we're doing a couple different ideas right now. We're trying to put everything together. We're going to get it figured out and hopefully be testing the car around November, December is my goal.
Now,
So-
I know you've been involved a lot with breast cancer awareness, and then what was the other charity that you did a lot of
Cystic
stuff?
fibrosis.
Yeah, cystic fibrosis. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
work with cystic fibrosis, and now my best friend's son was actually diagnosed with autism, and he's a single dad. And so we just, you know, we were sitting there and had the Baja bug, and I said, hey, when we get this thing all done, we get everything done, completely ready to race, why don't we get people to pledge like a quarter a mile or a nickel a mile or even a penny a mile? And, you know, they take their pledge, we tell them how many miles we did, and they write a check directly to, you know, autism awareness. And so that's our plan right now, is just to raise some money for autism awareness. He's my best friend. He's never actually got a chance to ride with me in the car yet, in any car during a race. So
That might be a good thing.
we're actually getting excited to do this. You know, it should be fun.
now, do you think he'll still be your best friend after you go out and make him
Give
do
him
all
a
this?
ride, yeah.
Hey, he was riding with me in the Ford Raptor that I got in the accident with at the last year's Baja 500. You know, and,
He was one of the guys who got airlifted, huh?
no, he wasn't. He didn't get there. What happened was 2 people went head on.
jeez.
Head on some Americans right in front of me, and the Americans actually ended up barrel rolling, and 1 or 2 people were ejected out of the truck that they were in, and we basically hit the car that Mexican nationals went after they went head on. It bounced back, and I ended up hitting that car, and you know, the drive shaft pulled out of the transmission. That was the only thing that really happened to us, and it bent the frame up, and you know, it just kind of scared us. But it was that was probably the scariest moment we've ever had together. And I've known Mark for years and years and years, since about the 6th grade. And if we can handle that, I think we'll be fine with a roll cage and, you know, time to go play in the dirt.
Oh, the truck you were driving, you got into the accident with, wasn't a race truck.
No, this was on the highway. I was driving a brand new Ford Raptor, and those things work pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Airbags, too, huh?
You know what? The truck caught us. The car that we hit caught us in the back tire, and it never blew the airbag.
Oh, no.
It ripped off the leaf spring purchase, pulled the drive shaft out, and we drove over the hood of it, and we were able to put the drive shaft back in and limp it all the way back to Ensenada.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's Ford tough.
Yeah.
That's a commercial for Ford right there.
Exactly.
Wow.
But, all right, you guys, well, listen, I'll give you guys some more great news about everything that's going on at the Coliseum and everything else in the dirt, and hopefully get maybe the Baja 500 winner on the show next Tuesday. I will work on it and see what I can do.
That sounds great, Brian. Set it up, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week. It's good to have you back. We haven't had you on the show for a while.
I know. It's been really crazy. It's been busy and not that much going on, and now all of a sudden everything's going on in off-road again. So
nice.
I need to get out there and get in studio soon. So that's my goal, is to get up there in the next couple of weeks.
Sounds great. We'll talk to you then. Well, Brian Layton and the Off-Road Report, always great to have him let you know the latest news that's going on in the world of off-road racing. And, that sounds like that might be an interesting development going on.
Indeed. I know. The intensity is building because it's, it's just over an hour from now, right?
Yeah, just over an hour here in Southern California. So.
And I have seen that they've been marketing that Speed Energy drink a lot more lately. I've actually been to a couple of gas stations where they had a girl out there giving away free samples, and they've been promoting that energy drink. So I'm wondering if maybe that energy drink's kind of gone to the next level.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good energy drink. It's not just energy. It actually has like vitamins and minerals, and there's good stuff for you. You know, unlike some of the energy drinks, it's just like sugar, caffeine, crack. You know.
You talk about the stuff I drink once in a while?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Bruce, you've got some more footage back there of the Las Vegas Heritage Race. That's the NHRA Heritage Race, and this is one of my favorite rockabilly bands. We saw the Hot Rod Trio a little bit earlier. This is Mad Max and the Wild Ones.
And these are young kids playing in this band, right, Lucky?
Yep. Let's listen to him a little bit. Hey, this is a good band, man, and they put on a great show. This is the dad in the back on bass. I'm not sure exactly who the two brothers are, whether it's the guitar and the drums or the singer and the guitar. Or the singer's one of the kids. I think this might be the other kid. He's now doing lead guitar, and but I followed this band for years and years, and boy, that singer used to be about half as tall, and he'd get out there and he'd do the Elvis shake, and great group. They really put on a good show.
I am impressed. He's got that cool the squared off sound hole in the guitar too. Everything. Oh man!
Now the video camera, I'm off at a distance. It's kind of windy. I'm not picking up audio real good. He sounds great in person. The camera just doesn't pick up the music and everything that great. But great event at the Rockabilly reunion. They had bands. They had pinup girls. They had a contest. They had a bathing suit contest for the girls. They had rockabilly cars. All types of different things going on. And, of course, the drag racing. They had a bracket race. They had the funny car race. And a couple of other people that did real well. Brian Rogers, he was racing in B-Gas, and he took out Jim Stewart, one of the locals in the B-Gas category. And Wayne Hoover, that's right, Wayne Hoover won C-Gas. Now, I know what you're thinking, Diana-mite. Did Scott Lucky Hudson win C-Gas? No. But the guy that beat me, Michael Williams, ended up going to the final round. He was at the last final and beat me in the final. This time he wasn't so lucky, and he ended up losing to Wayne Hoover. So I'm sure that Michael Williams in that good-looking blue and white 55 Chevy is moved up in points. But speaking of good-looking cars, man, there was a great selection. And, Bob, the thing about the Riot Rods, a lot of the guys don't really worry about the paint.
No, that's patina. patina is in. That's what you do. It also saves time on waxing.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's true.
And a lot of the chop tops don't seem to quite have all the windows in them.
No, that's a hard thing to complete, Lucky. You know,
that's expensive. That's one of the expensive parts. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and because flat glass, of course, is one issue. But yeah, if you've got
The
a wraparound
curved.
windshield,
Oh,
yeah.
Forget it. Yeah.
Well, these are great looking cars. You know, I love the variety, and this one right here was my favorite. The Merc.
Yeah.
And it had the right look. It had a nailhead Buick motor under the hood.
And then is that a Buick or a Corvette grill section?
DeSoto.
DeSoto?
Yeah, those are DeSoto teeth.
Just the fact that you know that is
Jesus. Wow.
Yep.
This car had the look, and I was looking at the front hubcaps, and I thought, I wonder if the back had the same hubcaps.
No,
who could tell?
No, you can't see them. Yeah.
Yeah, why even put them on?
Yeah, indeed.
But there was a great variety of cars, and of course, people pulled the cars around, listened to the bands, watched the race cars. The racing was going on. It was a pretty good time. Here's a 58
Chevy
Del Rey.
Yeah, that's the base model.
Yep, the base model, and this was a really clean one.
Isn't that funny? The base model looks really elegant.
They look great now, yeah. By today's standards, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the NHRA Heritage Series, there's been 3 races so far. Of course, the March Meet, Speed World, and then this race here at Las Vegas. But the action's not over, and if you want to go to NHRAHeritage.com, I believe, you can get the whole series, or just Google it. There's going to actually be a race up at Sacramento, June 15th and 16th, the Funny Car Fever race. And then Spokane, Washington has Top Fuel. But the next time that you'll see us regular folks racing, that's going to be Sacramento Raceway, and that's going to be July 13th and 14th.
Cool.
So, and there'll be a few more races after that, but keep an eye open. If you're anywhere near those events, come on out, because it's a great time. You know, it's a lot of diversity, a lot of cool cars. And speaking of a great event, the Speed Scene Live Nationals coming up in June.
Yep.
Diana-mite. Bruce, did you ever happen to find that clip you were looking for?
Check it out.
You did.
Unbelievable.
This is
look at
pro
there.
stock racer Justin Humphreys. From what year is this?
This footage was 2011, so it should be fairly accurate. Fall of that year.
Yeah, fall of that. This was at the NHRA Auto Club Finals. He was running in pro stock, and Diana-mite said, "Boy, I'd sure like to put an NHRA sticker on that car." He said, "You put it anywhere you want." And so here she is putting it on the car, and then we got to watch that car, and those stickers go down the track on TV later. He did really well. I think he actually took out Jegs on a hole shot.
Yeah, he did. He
that's
did
tough.
great.
And he's sitting on the sidelines right now, putting together a new program. He's not currently racing. But if you would like to be like a professional NHRA pro stock racer and have a pretty little girl like Diana-mite put those stickers on your car, look at how talented she is at that.
Not only
Yeah.
like, but exactly Diana-mite.
Yes, you know, I put them on nice and straight,
Yes,
and I
you did.
rubbed on them real hard to get all the bubbles out. So I think I
Bubbles.
did a really good job.
I noticed you were taking care of the butt crack there, too, making
Yeah,
sure.
did you notice
no
that?
plumbers,
Yeah. Well, you know, you had that camera, and I just didn't trust you. You know,
You know I was going to zoom in.
Oh, I can see that going viral on YouTube today.
you got it.
Well, Bruce, great job at finding this footage, because I had forgotten about it. And those are the old Speed Scene Live stickers. We've got new ones now
improved.
that are new and improved, and they're worth even more ET. So if you'd like to be like Justin Humphreys or a lot of other cars out there, come to the event. We're going to put free stickers on your car. We're going to film cars. We're going to do driver interviews. We're going to have this Speed Scene Live show loaded up with racers from the Speed Scene Live Nationals. Kind of like how they did the Pinks All Out. You'd show up, you'd get on TV, you'd have fun, you'd win some money. We've got tons of prizes, T-shirts, hats, stickers, Prolong products, all kinds of stuff that we're going to give out. Of course, the Nitro Plate gift certificates, some sets of Firecore 50 wire sets, all kinds of stuff that we're going to be handing out, the T. Nichols artwork. So this is a big event. We'd really love to have everybody come out and support the event. And, of course, every dollar that's earned at this event goes straight to the Great Bend track.
Cool.
Oh, and by the way, here's that Michael Williams guy.
The one
That guy.
The one
The
that has
guy.
a target on his back. That
That's
Michael
the guy.
Williams?
Darn him.
Yeah. Like, we should put like a big target right on the screen. Everybody, every sea gasser out there, that's who you go after.
You know, it's just not right having such a nice guy cut such good lights.
I
You know,
know.
I mean, he took me out with a 007 at Speed World. This time, he said, "Well, that's not good enough." He dropped a 005 on me. And I don't know. I'm starting to get a twitch when I see that car now.
You know, I still give out those perfect light pins too. You got to
do you
earn one.
really?
Yeah.
Well, you keep an eye on him because I'm sure he'll be applying shortly.
Last time I won one of those was at LACR.
Yep, that's where we got it. We used to do that at Bernie's.
Yep.
Weekends at Bernie's, we used to give those away.
Weekend at Bernie's. Well, you know what? It's almost that time, Lucky. I got to hear that music, so I know what's going on. There you go. What's going on? It's brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends. Curry's got your rear end ready and waiting for you. Hey, if you got a hot rod like this racing down the racetrack, or you've got one of those rock crawlers, or even those trophy trucks that Bryant Layton was showing us, Curry's got a rear end for your vehicle. You tell him Diana-mite sent you.
And if you'd like to get more information on these races and more, go to dragraceresults.com. There you can find out all the information about all the races across the entire country. Dragraceresults.com. That's where I always go. Now, Diana-mite, what's the first race on your agenda?
Well, the first race actually on my agenda, Lucky, is June 9th, the Speed Scene Live Grand Nationals at Great Bend, Kansas, with over $17,000 in cash and prizes. Yeah, it's the most important one because that's the next race I'm going to be at. Hey, business owners, you guys out there, you want to get your name out, you want to get some great publicity? Give us a little holler here at Speed Scene Live. You got something to give away to the racers? Let us know.
And June 14th to the 16th, the NHRA reunion at Bowling Green, Kentucky. Come on down. We're going to be racing out there. You can see the Curry booth and the vendor area. You can check out their new line of fabricated rear ends, as well as the axles and the control arms and all the different things that are available. Pick up a free Curry catalog, some stickers, and pick up your free Speed Scene Live stickers, and we will be filming out there too. So if you're racing there, you got a good chance at being on Speed Scene Live TV.
Hey, Bob, what's going on at Irwindale these days?
Well, every Thursday night, it's Street Drags. Thursday night, gates open at 4 p.m. We run until 10 o'clock every Thursday night under the lights at Irwindale, your place to race in Southern California.
Nice.
And Bob, don't they have some Saturday racing starting now?
Well, they're working on the Saturday racing. That hasn't started just yet, but they had their first Summit Series race this last Sunday. There's going to be some more races. Moon Eye's Christmas Party is going to be there. The Antique Nationals coming up beginning of June. That's coming up really soon. I've got their flyer posted on GAS on Facebook, G.A.S. on Facebook, the flyer for Antique Nationals, as well as Irwindale's schedule.
Nice. Wow. Lot going on. Yeah. And, of course, we had... we've got the June 15th and 17th. If you're not going to be at the NHRA reunion at Bowling Green, if you happen to be on the West Coast, then I know where you're going to want to be. You're going to want to be at the ANRA Spring Nationals at Bakersfield. We raced there for the season opener, had a great time, fantastic event, lots of friendly people. If you have not tried the ANRA, now's your chance. Go to ANRA.com for more info.
1320 Extreme will be at MIR Raceway on June 17th.
That's their first time there, and, man, they are looking forward to that event. 1320 Extreme is going to have a lot of stuff going on at that event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we had Charlie Harmon from the NMCA on a couple weeks ago, and they are going to have their first event of the Flowmaster NMRA West at Bakersfield, featuring Aerospace Components NHRA Unleashed. So if you want to come on out and race for a Wally, June 22nd through 24th, come up to Bakersfield. I'll be there racing. Come on out and race with me.
Well, it looks like we're about at the top of the hour. You know what? Ton racing going out throughout the country.
One more race, Diana-mite. The Flowmaster NMCA West event featuring Aerospace Components NHRA Unleashed will be at Pomona August 17th through the 19th. Come on out and race with the two Curry rear end 66 Chevy Novas at Pomona, and you can sign up. now online. Go to nmcadigital.com.
Well, there you have it.
That's it.
How's that? We had to get that one in because, man, that's going to be a packed race.
Yeah, it is.
And if you race at Bakersfield, you are guaranteed an entry into that race.
Oh,
That's
really?
right. That's
As
right.
long as you pay the appropriate entry fee.
How slow can I dial in?
What are you planning on running?
None of my cars are quick. I mean, I do the hair-raising 19-second ETs with my hot rod.
Yeah,
well,
well,
I don't know, Bob. You seem to be driving a Corvette lately that sounds
I
awful
do.
quick.
Yeah, but my HHR is faster.
That's so sad.
More horsepower.
Well, we're going to catch you next week. Next week, we've got Brian Layton he's going to tell us what happened at the big announcement that comes down in about an hour. Also, he's going to give us some more info on the Baja 500 race. We're going to do some more how to get sponsor tips. I got some really good ones that I'm going to share that you're going to really want to know about. Of course, Hot Rod Bob, you're going to be going on. And to top it off, since we're going to be heading out to the Bowling Green race, we've got the Geezer Gassers calling in to talk about them.
What kind of guys?
The Geezer Gassers. Yes, they've got gas and geezers. They're going to be on the show talking about the Bowling Green event.
All right. Well, hey, Diana-mite, good to see you again tonight.
Good to be seen.
You as well, Lucky?
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, and Bob, good to see you in studio tonight.
Yeah, I made it in tonight.
All right, here's what we're going to do. The encore presentation comes up next. Be sure to join us next week. It's going to be topsy-turvy. It's going to be crazy. In other words, just another night of Speed Scene Live. So that's coming up a week from tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a great week.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, and thefaux.com.